I mean, not super for me because, we'll get to buy it.
That's weird.
Hey, nice live preview. Hi, people.
Hey.
Hello.
Just gonna-
Hello there.
Hello, humans.
Hi.
Hi. I was changing my voice back to normal.
What's up, bitches?
What's going on,
That's so loud.
everybody? That's fantastic. I love that one. And that Mario in the background always gets me.
It's beautiful.
Very
Credit
cute.
to Pixelpad. I'll send his link to you. You can throw it down in the description just so I can give the guy credit because he created something really cool.
Yeah, let's do that. You can see it in the I'm just trying to remember what their name of their podcast is.
State of Confusion.
State of Confusion.
Oh yeah.
You can see it in the background because they just that's why we didn't record last week. For those that are wondering where were we? We
took a sabbatical.
Yeah, we took a sabbatical. Yachty was in town, so we were going to record all of us here, and here's a little story. We set up the couch, we set up the mics and everything, and we were testing them out. And to test them out, I was recording, and we had Yachty's wife, we had Lola, and we had Sarah, my wife, just testing them out, and they ended up talking for 2 hours.
And that was just a test.
That was just a test. However,
it was funny.
It was an amazing episode. So,
Oh yeah,
the
a
first
test
episode
which became their second episode.
Yep,
which is weird because the first one hasn't even been published yet. But
yep,
coming soon, folks.
Oh yeah, I'm going to say that it's going to be published next week.
Yay!
I'm going to say it here. So if you hear this,
pressure.
You're going to hear this hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow on Spotify, edited and everything. And for next week, we haven't decided what day it is yet. So make sure you follow all of our social media. And yeah.
Click all the things. You forgot that.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well because we will be posting those episodes right here.
Oh, yeah. And then make sure you join our Discord so you can be part of our amazing nerdy community. Why? Just because we'd like to have fun. We like to have game nights that we're trying to bring back. We have to figure out at what day or what time because I'm working nights now. So
we'll probably just have to plan it out with time and maybe do once a month or 2 times a month.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe for subscribers or Discord members only.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of ideas that we're throwing around that we just got to kind of figure out, where to place them during the week or during the month and whatnot. So
if you notice, Lola is not here tonight. She had a previous engagement. So she is not here today. It's been 2 weeks since we recorded.
Far too long.
Yeah, so I'm a little off. I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about today? So let's go back.
It's all good.
You change your voice again.
Again, oh my god, this thing.
We are nerds. We are
You
nerds.
technical difficulties. You gotta get those. You gotta get those off your
I gotta
keyboard
change
shortcuts.
the
And,
keybinds. Yeah,
yeah.
that's all right. People laugh. Hopefully. What did it
So-
sound like? I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah. So as the description says, Marvel are they in hot waters? Because I think so. I think that Marvel
What's going on?
now in hot waters, I mean that they got to get their shit together. So let's talk about that real quick and why I think that Marvel is struggling. The MCU has always had a leader. They've had Iron Man, they had Captain America. Wherever Iron Man wasn't, Captain America was there. We lost Iron Man 2 days ago in real time.
Technically,
my God.
Right, because he Robert Downey Jr. didn't die, but the date of when he passed in the movie was October 17th, 2023, which was 2 days ago.
Yep.
So, with that being said, or 3 days ago, if you are watching this on Spotify.
But the world was saved, so.
Right.
or if you're watching from Japan, because they're a day ahead of us.
God damn.
Too many times.
Listen, when I was a kid and I found out that like Europe was ahead of us, I always said, how come they're not telling us what things are going to happen? They're in the future.
It seems that way, but that's not technically how it works.
Right.
Future
But it made
people.
sense
Time
in my
zones.
head. It made sense in my head. So the original plan for the MCU was to give the mantle of the leader to Black Panther. Unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman passed in real life. So they were left with no leader.
There was some conversation had because they were talking about because there's been several articles that have gone over this, and I think it's probably what you're mentioning is that I think it was during the filming of Endgame because they knew all this was coming, and it was Chadwick Boseman, Tom Holland, and Brie Larson. That we're talking about, they were set to be like the future of like the pillars of the MCU.
Right. They were going to be Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, which were the original three.
Right.
But yeah, no, sadly with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, that pretty much derailed part of that. And then of course, Sony and Marvel Studios are kind of in a back and forth over the status of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So there's no certain future there. And then, of course, Brie Larson is kind of disillusioned with what's been going on and all the shit that she's gotten. And some people would say deservedly so. It's kind of split. To be honest, I'm not a big fan, but it seems as though she's going to be on the way out.
Right.
And unfortunately, from what I've seen, it looks like she's going to be going out on a down note because it seems that the Marvels are tracking pretty low at this point. They're forecasting that their opening weekend is going to be significantly less than what Quantumania opened at.
And I think it's because the news came out that Brie Larson was difficult to work with. And unfortunately, that us as fans, we've seen all these actors in all of these movies for so long that
Mhm.
that we feel a connection with them. And when we find out that one of the actors is being difficult to work with, we take the side of the ones that are not difficult to work
Right.
with. So and then it sucks for the actor
Mm.
that, like, for example, Brie Larson, because I think that she played the character great, because it has nothing to do with the character. The character to me was good. Could have they done a better writing? Probably, but that
Easily.
to her point, it would, or to defend her a little bit, that's not her fault. Because at the end of the day, you also have you have great writing, plus you are terrible to work with, and now the director is like, you know what? Let's just get the movie out of here.
Well, it also doesn't help some of the shit she says in the media
Right.
that really has the fan base like absolutely divided. And so when you have, and that's the thing though, the ones that get pissed off at her over what she does and how difficult she is to work with and the shit she says are the majority of the ones that go to see these movies.
Right.
So if you piss your fans off like that, they're not going to want to go and see these movies. And so
Correct.
you're going to go
Right.
downhill really quick. Now, granted, that movie did still make, or it broke $1 billion at the box office. So technically it was a success, but it still left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Well, it was a success because people wanted to see it, and this was in the hype of the MCU.
Mhm.
So people were still very big fans of I need to go see this because I want to know where this character is going to go from here, and how is it going to tie into the finale of the the Infinity Saga. So I think that played more than actually people wanting to go see the movie.
Well, it makes perfect sense because they were like Marvel Studios was riding high. Like they were damn near at the height of their success before Endgame and that came out. And so they were trying to play on that momentum. And I think for a lot of people, I think it just like Captain Marvel just rubbed them the wrong way. And like it's when you have these characters that even in their comics really aren't that popular or aren't that good, and you're trying to put them into these you're putting them into the cinematic universe and you're saying this character's awesome, this character's amazing, you need to, you should love them. But if you're
Right.
presenting them in a way that just doesn't resonate with people, they're not going to get on board with it.
Correct. I think that she kind of fucked herself over,
Pretty much.
and it's her fault. And then going to Sony, do they not like to make money? Because
Apparently
Certain
not.
ways.
right. And the reason I ask is because why are you fighting this when this franchise is making you so much money? Because people love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. They don't love it more than the previous ones, but I actually think that the previous ones got more love after the fact. They're getting the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are getting the Hayden Christensen treatment.
Right. They get love after a new one comes out.
Well,
Right.
the funny thing is, like, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was actually pretty goddamn popular for like the first two movies. And
Right.
then they derailed it with the third movie when you
The
cast
dance.
not just that, but fucking casting
Foreman.
Eric fucking Foreman as Eddie Brock was just the
Terrible.
biggest mistake that they could have made. You know, it But I guess they learned their lesson when they dropped the Amazing Spider-Man, and then I guess they forgot said lesson when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and then it was just flatline from there until I guess until what was it, the first Venom that dropped, or was it the Tom Holland's appearance as Spider-Man in Civil War? I forget which one of those came first.
I think Venom came out first.
Because it definitely did them a world of good. And then all of a sudden you see Spider-Man show up in that trailer for Civil War, and everybody just went nuts.
Right. I think the problem with the Amazing Spider-Man was also the writing, because Andrew Garfield did an amazing job. And looking back, he played Peter Parker, to me, better than the other two. Because in a previous episode, we actually compared the three. And we said that Andrew Garfield was the best Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was the best. And then Tom Holland's a mix of both. Because he plays Peter Parker fantastic. And then Spider-Man is, I think the only problem with this Spider-Man is this: he's too high tech. He doesn't, a little bit he does, but he doesn't rely too much on his instincts and powers. He relies more on his suits.
We also saw more of the beginning stages of Spider-Man in the previous movies than what we saw with Tom Holland, because he was already Spider-Man for a while,
for a little bit,
and
right?
then he got the tech from Stark Industry. So I see what your point there. Yes, and I agree. But we also didn't get to see much of him before that.
Right.
Well, I was glad that we didn't really get to see much of him before that, because it was just another take on the origin story really wasn't what we needed. And that's another thing that we went over as well. It's just like, you saw
it will
twice
repeat itself
already.
Yeah,
So,
too much.
people just get tired of it, and you're not going to want to tune in.
Same with the Batman movie.
Yeah. Same track.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like every single Batman franchise, they have to give us his backstory. And not only that, they go as far, and you haven't seen the Joker, right? Or you haven't seen Joker? You have?
Yep.
Okay.
Great movie.
Right. But even there, they gave us Batman's backstory. Like, we didn't need to see it.
A shortened version, but yes.
Right. But it happened.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And which it was kind of different, because they showed that the events of Joker was what led to that.
Yep.
Which it was different. But when they needed to show us Batman's like backstory, the way that we wanted to see it was in the Flash movie, like Flashpoint backstory, and we never got that. We got Michael Keaton, fantastic. But I think that Michael Keaton should have played Bruce Wayne's father. And
I think a lot of people wanted to see him back.
No, and I get that. But I think that if they would have played this backstory of the Flashpoint and seen, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Thomas Wayne.
If we would have seen that, in live action. And we would have seen, even if we didn't see the Joker in the movie, but seeing his mother turn into the Joker because Bruce died, that would have been we would have been like, you know what? This is backstory we needed. This is a refresher.
It would have been a good way, I think, to throw the audience for a fucking loop. It would have been amazing.
Right. And I think that they could have played it as when Flash fixes everything at the end of the movie, Michael Keaton comes back as 89 Batman, Earth 89 Batman, as older, but segueing into Batman Beyond. I
They
think
just don't think ahead.
they miss this opportunity.
There were several opportunities I think that they missed with this, but at this point though, it's just like that. I feel is the last. I've said it before. I feel like it's the last gasp of fucking the DCEU and Zack Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But do you think they were trying to sabotage this movie because they wanted to kick out Ezra?
well, Ezra pretty much, with his own actions, Ezra pretty much fucked this movie from the get-go. So, I mean, you know, regardless of having Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne in there, I don't think that was going to do much to save that.
And I
There's
don't
a
think
lot of people.
that James Gunn is gonna continue with anything from that movie.
No,
Unlike
think
that was a throwaway. That was a
The
throwaway card.
the only thing that he will keep that I've seen, and
Lola
it didn't.
is in the chat.
Yay!
She
The
said,
only
"Hey,
thing with-
bitches, love you."
the only thing we've seen is the that he's gonna keep his Blue Beetle.
Right. So let's see where that goes.
Oh, no
And-
doubt, no doubt. And I think, and here's the interesting bit, going back to Peter Parker and the actors who played him. I think, and we all agreed that Andrew Garfield was the best person thus far. Ryan in the chat ignoring me.
We didn't see any of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say that's the only thing I've seen you put. So didn't even know you were there.
He's
This
just
is
seeking
your
attention.
own fault.
But yeah, getting back on topic, I think I honestly agree wholeheartedly that Andrew Garfield was the better of the three to play Peter Parker, and honestly, he basically because he is the most well-rounded, and a lot of the movies that I've seen him in thus far, like he does so well, and I think one of his best movies, was what was that one? Fuck, I can't believe I'm having a brain lag right now. The that World War II movie that he was in.
That movie. That one movie.
Yeah, that one. I don't know.
If anybody in the chat knows that movie, I'm fucking drawing a blank here, but
Lola.
Lola in the chat. It's my time to shine on the comment section.
Do it.
Upgrade to an Apple phone and you'll see all your messages. I'm on my PC, jackass. You just haven't been very talkative.
Yeah, bitch ass. I'm not even looking at the chat. I don't even know what's happening. Just making a thumbnail.
There you go.
So what were we talking about?
I brought it back to the
Spider-Man.
the Peter Parker conversation. I think we were moving on to either the Spider-Man 2 game or Loki episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah, with the Spider-Man game, it's coming out tomorrow. If you're watching this live, and if you're not, then it's out. And so far, I've seen great reviews. Like, people are loving this. At least the people that got to play it early. I'll get to play it tonight at midnight if I'm still awake, because I'm in 4 hours of sleep. So yes, but hopefully I'll be awake.
Hell yeah. Ryan, go fuck yourself. I'm never paying attention to you. So Ryan, you are on Remy's Roundtable. Remy's Roundtable is celebrating their 4th year anniversary.
Wow.
Their
It's a little bit of a clap dance.
their 6th anniversary this week. Their 6th anniversary celebration this week. Because he celebrates their
The name change?
No, he celebrates the anniversary like every other week.
Oh, gotcha.
I was about to go,
Oh my God, he's so goddamn cool!
Yeah, no.
but you blew it.
No, I thought about it going on the Zoom, but I literally got out of work at 9:00. So he asked me yesterday to do it. I'm sorry, Remy. I know you're watching.
We can keep recording this and then Jim in the thing. Nah, it's not gonna work. The camera's not gonna work.
By the way, the movie that I was referring to was Hacksaw Ridge.
There you go.
Yeah.
Incredible movie.
Yes. He's an incredible actor.
Absolutely.
Hey, if you're watching this live, hit the like button. Thank you.
And subscribe.
We appreciate you.
Do all that, man. Click all the things.
Click all the things. All right. So the game, what are you most excited about?
That I get to play with both as Peter Parker and Miles, because both are great Spider-Mans. So, and now Venom and being the Venom Spider-Man, you know.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, I got a hint of it when the Spider-Man 3 game came out a while back, when the Spider-Man 3 movie was out.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you so much for interrupting me, Brian.
Lola talk
I'll say Brian.
For me.
See you later, Brian.
Peace out, Ryan.
You're my least favorite Brian. Brian.
Classic Brian.
No, but I'm pretty excited to play it. I can't say much about it yet because, of course, I haven't played it, but it's downloading. I think it should be already done. So
I won't be playing it right away because I gotta get hands on and start playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder, because that also comes out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, look at that! I forgot about it. There's too many good games coming out.
Yes, too many, way too many.
Let me know how they go.
People are gonna be divided tomorrow.
If you're gonna stream, just make sure you stream and on the Nerd Archive if you want.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it without camera because I have the PlayStation downstairs with a PlayStation camera that doesn't really do much.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'll definitely get it going tomorrow for sure.
It's a good
So you're
idea.
gonna see it live on this channel.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Sweet.
All right, so even though it's a thumbnail, we barely talked about it. The game.
What? The game?
Yeah. I put it on the thumbnail because it comes out today, so people are going to want to.
The important thing is to know that it's coming out tomorrow. Today, tonight, tomorrow. This weekend. It's a Spider-Man weekend. Sorry, Mario Wonders. I guess it's a Wonder Spider-Man. I don't know. We'll figure out name.
Spider Wonder.
There you go. It's a new
Spider-Wonder
Spider-Man.
The Wonderful Spider-Man.
There you
So
go.
if you are watching this and you are playing the game this weekend and you happen to watch this, leave us in the comment. Let us know what you thought of the game. We want to know what you think. And if you join our Discord, you can let us know what your favorite parts of the game were. That way you have more to talk instead of just in comments.
Oh, I guess I do
absolutely.
have a comment with the game though. So it has instant travel. So you can jump into any point in the map without any load time.
Okay, I got something for that. You're gonna play
What?
Spider-Man, which the main thing is to swing around and you're gonna
Yeah.
fast travel.
I don't like that.
Like I
Well,
understand.
there's missions, and it's actually a lot bigger map.
Right.
So it will take you like it's fun to travel swinging the first 10 hours, right?
Right.
After that, you want to get to the missions and you want to do it fast because the game has obviously uh things going around the city that you will get interrupted and you get sidetracked. And if you just want to do certain missions, that will be the best way to do it is fast travel.
Right.
Because I tried to do it all and it took a while in the previous game.
And
Yeah, but getting sidetracked is half the fun sometimes.
Sometimes you said it.
yeah. But fast travel, I'm assuming you have to reach that point first before you
Like you have to open up the map and whatnot. Yeah.
Right.
Ah.
You have to reach that location before you
they-
can fast travel there.
I don't know how they're doing in this game, but the previous one, it was the train stations, the like the stops for the train station.
But you can only go to the ones that you've visited before.
When you were in the area, because you don't actually go there. Just when you swing by that area, it
Right.
opens it up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Which piggyback on this. They released the game tonight, which means that what's the company's name? Insomnia?
Sony.
Oh.
So-
Insomniac.
Insomniac. Now they're focusing on working on the Wolverine game, which that is what I'm waiting for. That we need a Deadpool game, like a Spider-Man game, but Deadpool.
What do you want to bet that Deadpool will probably show up in that Wolverine game they're working on?
Oh, for sure. But will he? We will only find out next time.
They'd be stupid not to.
And it depends on having the rights and whatnot, but I'm sure that they would just as like a side mission. But being
they're all in the same kind of whole bundle, aren't they?
I don't know how it works with the video games.
Well, I mean, it still depends on, at this point, I think it still depends on Disney because Disney does own the rights to all those characters.
Right. They only have Spider-Man and some other villains and whatnot.
Right.
Because
The fact that they're-
Insomniac is
yeah.
not a Sony company. It's
Hmm?
just Insomniac. It's not as a Sony company.
It's not?
I'm asking.
Let's ask the intern.
The intern.
Intern Steve is on the case.
Intern it.
Hey.
That's hey. Our intern's name
It's
is
a-
ET.
Yeah, it's a-
Net.
Insomnia Games has become a wholly owned subsidiary of Sony.
Okay. Because I was gonna say maybe Insomniac just gets the rights for a game or two. That's But if it's a Sony company, then
Yeah, they only make games for PlayStation, I think.
okay. Well, I hope that the Wolverine game is cross-platform.
Depends who make it.
Well, I was going to say, if Insomniac is developing it, then it's pretty much guaranteed to be exclusive to the PlayStation.
Fuck that.
Actually, is there any information about the Wolverine game?
Well,
Well, you said
they had paused the production because they wanted to make sure that their sole focus on the Spider-Man game. They didn't want to deviate and make a shitty game.
Yeah, no, they already have the game kind of made. So it's for fall of 2024. So fall of next year.
Right.
And it says, let's see, a fall 2024 release would have Insomniac dropping Wolverine. So yeah, it is a PlayStation game.
of course.
So you'll have the pleasure of watching me play the game. Thank you.
Or before fall, I'm gonna have to buy a PlayStation. Just for one game.
Yeah, I see you doing it, especially if they drop a special edition one
Wolverine.
with the claw thing on it.
Ooh, that'd be
That's the air
interesting.
vent?
Say less.
Oh,
Say less.
I just made a PlayStation in my head.
Yeah. Say
Like the
less.
classic colors, though, like the yellow and blue.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Say less.
PlayStation, give me 5%
Checks
for
in
the
the mail.
idea.
Checks in the mail. No, why does Lola want us to talk about Daddy Anakin?
Cause
Because she's not here. We just mentioned
she
it.
wants to hear yeah, that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Asmakin Skywalker.
That reminds me. Side note. I had the sleep study done because
Oh, yeah.
I
How'd that
snore.
go?
I had to wear the mask, and I legit sound like Darth Vader.
Nice.
So
Wow.
I'm gonna wear it every night just because of that.
You have to record yourself when you do that.
Oh my God, no.
do a stream marathon, just you sleeping.
Sleeping. Yeah, I'll do that. See how I
Darth
sleep.
Darth Vader sound for 8
record
hours.
it. Just record it and then have like a snippet and then with like Vader voice cuts in between at certain parts.
Coming soon.
Yeah, right.
Oh, great.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, I've been up since 5:30 this morning.
Damn.
Yeah, that was me 2 days ago.
Yeah. And I am off tomorrow, but I'm taking Sarah to work, so I have to drop her off at 6:45.
Still gotta be awake.
Beautiful.
God awful 30.
Which I enjoy it a lot. So
You actually enjoy waking up at the ass crack of dawn?
with her, yes.
And then you have to go to work
I'm
off tomorrow. Oh,
Yeah.
You said that already?
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
miss
I
it.
did it. I did.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
Well, I'm gonna be off for the next week and a half, so I got no excuse. I got to get back to streaming. I'm actually gonna probably make my return to that tomorrow when I start playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder. So
Hey,
I'm
listen,
gonna
your short video that you've been posting, they are legit, dude.
the ones that I posted from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. Those are legit. They with the sound effects,
Oh yeah,
they had me cracking up.
I gotta start poking through because originally I wasn't even gonna do those because I originally was just gonna do it as the 15-minute highlight episode for episode 1, and then I'm like, these 2 little snippets are too good not to, because like they were the only 2 that I pulled from that highlight episode, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this and then release those first and then drop the full highlight
Right.
episode, which obviously didn't perform as well, but I mean, I can't really expect it to perform well considering I only have like maybe a few subscribers, which, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, no, I'm gonna be poking through some of the other Zelda videos that I have, and to get some more videos out of that, as well as getting back to streaming. I'll be bouncing back and forth between that and Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which you also need to get back playing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, they just had an update recently.
Oh, for the Steam version?
No, I mean the PlayStation was updating it, so I don't know what they changed. But hey, they might have fixed your game.
Yeah, Steam's had like 4 updates since you bought it for the Xbox.
Yeah, and I update it every time, and I still try it.
It still doesn't work?
No.
That sucks, man. I'm thinking it's something. I'm thinking it's more to do with your something with your computer. It has
Something
to
with the motherboard and the BIOS.
For all those, for all those updates to have come out, and it still shuts
But
down
it's the
your
only
PC.
game.
Which is weird though. Like what
Because
is it
I
about
play
that game
any
that
other,
causes it?
I don't know. I play any other game and it's fine.
Did you have it downloaded in the SSD?
Yeah.
And not the hard drive, right?
Yep. Because what I did was, because I wasn't playing Warzone, so I deleted Warzone, and when that game came out, and I put it on there. Because it wasn't an issue, because the only thing I can think of was that when I installed the new SSD, but I played it after that. So that goes out the window.
Yeah, if any other game works, then it's just that. I don't know.
Right.
Moving
What
on.
it is. No idea.
It's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hunt you forever.
Yeah.
When I come back to this this last year podcast when the when the game came out and then you couldn't play it anymore. You're gonna love those.
Should be pretty interesting. Since we're going to be talking, it looks like briefly about Loki episode 1 and 2 from season 2, shall I lead it off with an exhibition of the nerdy quote?
Yes, please.
Do it.
Nice. All right. That's right, everybody.
What's up, bitches?
That's right. It's time once again to test the host's nerdy knowledge in this special exhibition version of Nerdy Quote. Oh, nope. Nerdy Quote of the Week.
That gave me nightmares.
All right. What was that?
Give him nightmares.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, this one shouldn't be too bad, but I've said that before.
Bring it on.
And you still
There's no
find
point.
ways to disappoint me? All right. So let's get into this week's exhibition quote.
Famous last words before my dad left.
At least it doesn't count for your points. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. With it being exhibition, there is no points awarded. So,
Motherfucker. This is the one that I
here's
get
the thing.
perfect.
if I award points for this week's quote, then I have to do it for her or for Lola so she can get it. But then she's probably
Automatically.
listening to this episode right now, so
She
there's
just
no
gets
point.
2 free points. No,
Yeah,
let's
right.
not.
No.
Let's not do that.
We're not doing that. All right. So here we go. I understand that the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
I just saw that today. Who said it? Say it again.
I understand that the council's made a decision, but given that it's a stupid ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
Well, be ready to be disappointed.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go.
No.
Yachty.
But that's Loki. You need to know the season. One of the seasons, 1 or 2. And that said it. Say it again.
I understand that the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
That's Loki, season 1, episode 4.
All I need to know is the character and the
Who said
movie or
it?
series. It doesn't even have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything super specific like season or episode.
Loki on Loki.
Okay.
Let's go with Mobius. Mobius said it.
From
I said Loki earlier, yeah.
okay. All right. Well,
You ruined it. You ruined it, and I'm leaving.
you both got it completely wrong. That quote was stated by Nick Fury from Marvel Studios' Avengers from 2012.
I knew that, but I was throwing off Luis.
Sure you
Yeah.
did.
As soon as you said Nick Fury, I'm like, fuck. That's when he's standing in front of the heads.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
what I was picturing, but in Loki.
Mm.
I was picturing the robots.
Yeah, actually, what I was picturing
Whatever.
was Anakin telling the council, "You chose not to make me a master, but it was a stupid decision, so I chose to ignore it."
Oh my god. That fucking video from Fantasy Folklore. I actually haven't watched it, but the title of the video you just reminded me of. What if Anakin decided not to take a seat? And it shows him standing in front of Mace Windu with his lightsaber ignited in the council chamber.
That's funny. Well, did you know that in January we're gonna get a Mace Windu miniseries, comic books,
And then a show until
eventually?
because he
And-
still looks young for his age.
Well, yes, and they released the cover for the first issue, and he looks like a zombie.
He's
It's
been
crazy.
Yeah, 'cause
he's
it's
been in
after
the in
death.
between.
Could be. Should be interesting. I mean, I'm assuming that Disney is funding and producing all this.
Mhm.
So
It's actually a Marvel Comics.
I gotta squeeze everything out.
wow, a Marvel co-production. Nice.
Well, since Disney took over,
Hmm.
all the comic books about Star Wars have been Marvel.
Interesting.
Like they have a Darth Vader, I would
Mhm.
call it miniseries, but it's like,
Oh, yeah.
not really mini, but it's if you look in the back, it says Marvel Comics.
It's still
So-
it's still canon. It's still canon to the greater Star Wars universe, though.
Right.
So since we just a side note in this subject, do we think that there is any Jedis in the Marvel universe? Maybe.
Not likely unless they decide to cross the two universes over. I mean, I'd like to see
Right.
that. That'd be
They
kind of cool.
might already did it, but we don't know yet.
They might be X-Men and they're in a galaxy far, far away.
Winning.
Sound off in the comments below if you'd like to see something like that. A Star Wars Marvel crossover.
Please. Before we get into Loki, there's been theories out there that Minnie and Mickey broke up.
Yeah.
And do you guys know why the theories came out?
Because I
Because
don't know.
Disney did a what if series of the main five of Mickey and Minnie, Pluto, or Goofy, Donald Duck, and Daisy.
Wait, they
Mhm.
have that out right now on Disney
Yeah.
Plus?
No,
Okay.
it's a comic books.
Oh, okay.
And they're what if series. And the first issue, what if the Mickey Mouse and friends were the Avengers? Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
And the the theory started because Mickey was, I'm trying to remember who he was dressed up as, that Minnie was not the the two characters that are always end up together, like the Avengers. It was a male and a female, obviously, but it was Mickey and Daisy were those two characters. And then they did another what if. The second issue was what if they were X-Men. And Mickey played Cyclops, and Daisy played a character that Cyclops end up with in the comic books. So the fans were like, wait, why isn't Minnie not these characters? Are they splitting them up?
Oh my God. It's
Right.
a what if.
Right.
It's I was gonna say that it's just some creators having fun with the characters, kind of spinning them off into different like crossover mashups and things like that. So, and then of course people see it and they take these theories to just
Right.
they go nuts.
And it's just ridiculous, but
yeah,
it's fun. Like, I've always said that I don't like drama. Let me specify. I don't like to be in between the drama, but I like to watch from afar. And this is the kind of drama that I'm like, fantastic. Let's watch where it goes. Let's see what people come up with. It's like when people are talking shit about me, I don't get upset. Like, I want to know what I'm doing next, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't call this technically drama. It's just people running with certain theories that,
Right.
and it's funny. Like some people get a lot more out there or a lot more serious than it probably should be, because literally, I mean, all it is fictional characters and comic books and things like that.
Right,
so it's like
a soap opera.
pretty much. But I mean, generally, some of the stuff that people come up with is actually kind of funny.
Right. Like this.
Mm.
Like, this is hilarious. Like, I want to know where this goes. So I'll keep you guys updated.
Definitely.
I'll let you know if Mickey and Minnie got a divorce. And to know, I'll probably make a TikTok out of it. So make sure you follow Tier Factory TV on TikTok, and you can see all my my funny. I think I think are hilarious, but whatever. On that note, I made a video of this Mexican girl going off on Puerto Ricans, and I felt I usually don't say things. I don't get involved, but I'm like, you know what, bitch? Game on.
Yeah.
They call you this one, so you had to.
Yeah. I was like, no, bitch, I got you.
It spoke to you, so you didn't have a choice in the matter.
She don't know what charros mean.
So now that you said it, for Justin, charro in Puerto Rico means lame. Like, if you say a lame joke, I'm gonna go, damn.
I saw the video. I know.
Right. But then this lady, she's like, you're using it because you are calling Mexicans lame. That's not what. No, that's not what we're doing.
We as Puerto Ricans growing up, we didn't know that was a word used in Mexico. Just like they don't know that we use that word. Like, that's simple. But whatever.
It's like there's other words, like the word bicho means dick in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But you go to Mexico, it means bug.
Sorbeto, pito, popote.
Right. Straw.
It just comes down to like the different dialects, the difference in dialect between the Spanish speaking countries.
And for those that don't know, there are 29 known Spanish dialects.
So there you go.
That's a fucking fact that lives in my head for no reason.
The more you know.
Well, pretty much. I mean, and that's the thing, though. You learn, like, if somebody learned Spanish in school from a teacher that came from, say, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like they could have general conversation with people from any other Spanish speaking countries, but there are certain words that you're going to get confused on because they don't really mean the same from place to place. So
we learned
there's
that.
gonna be some issues that pop up at that point.
Right.
We definitely learned that in working at Disney.
Yep. Like there's I mean, the good thing is there's not a lot of Puerto Rican TV that makes it to other countries, but there is a lot of TV shows and movies that make it to Puerto Rico from other countries. So we hear the words and we know what they mean.
But they have another meaning for us.
Right. And it's the first time you hear something like that on TV, like when they say it, again, bicho, you're like, whoa, why is this on TV? Well, because they're talking about a bug.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you dare say the word bizcocho to a Mexican. Because bizcocho means cake for us. But pardon my French, bizcocho in Mexico means pussy.
Not a pussycat.
No, a vagina. So the more you know. Smart Super Show.
Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Always. I think that they knew that from the get-go.
Pretty much. If you didn't know it then, you do now.
Yes. All right.
This
so
is not
Loki,
intended for the younger viewers.
Let's get on Loki. Let's do it in 10 minutes. What you all think so far? Let's just go with that. Like episode 1 and 2.
In general, I thought it was pretty good, especially the first episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked more the second, but I mean, it's just still in development. So far, good. I mean, like I did fall asleep in the first one, just because I was tired, and I didn't remember much, so I started rewatching it today again, and then it was better for sure.
It was better.
It was better. When I started watching the second one, I was lost. And I was like, what the heck is happening? Who is this person that they capture? I don't recognize this person at all. And then I watched back the first episode. I was like, oh, okay. It's this guy.
Right. and if you watch when he gets eliminated in the first episode, you see that as he's disappearing, you see that glowing stick thingy that they use behind him. And there's a figure behind him. And the theory is, because we can't tell who it is, the theory is that is Loki. But then the other theory is that is Mobius in the future. Because this is happening in the future, this scene. Because we see, what's her name?
Sylvie.
We see her, like this elevator opens and you see her, and all of a sudden he gets evaporated.
Yep.
So to me, the first 2 episodes are steps in the right direction. You can actually tell that they spend money on this show.
Yeah, it's movie quality.
Yeah, movie quality, and they're using it wisely.
Finally,
because Secret Invasion had a huge budget, and it sucked. The CGI was like, you can tell this. Most of that money went to the actors.
Right.
There's a massive, massive difference between Secret Invasion and Loki. Like Secret Invasion just seemed like so low effort. It was ridiculous.
Right. And it's the way I compare those two.
And it was at the end that they kind of slacked too, like the important part.
Right. I think they could have gone in a different way in Secret Invasion, but I'm not gonna tell Disney how to do their job because they're not paying me. If you do something, if you're good at something, don't do it for free.
I mean, we could still, but it's not like they give a shit.
Right. But the way I compare these shows with Loki and everything else that have been made prior that is not up to par, I compare that to like the CW shows and Superman and Lois.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, if you ever get to watch Superman and Lois, the quality of the show, it's almost movie-like.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's really good.
Yeah. So, and if you go and watch The Flash, even though I love The Flash, like their CGI got better throughout the seasons, but the first 3 seasons, it Smallville in the 90s was better in CGI. But then Superman and Lois, the first time I saw it, the first episode, boom, I'm like, am I watching a fucking movie?
You have to pause it to see how much time you have left, and it's episode 1. Okay.
Right. Well, and also the shows, the CW shows, other than Supernatural, they're very bright. Like, I don't know if you ever noticed that, but their shows are very bright. And not like bright colors, but like the exposure, it's there. And this one, the Superman and Lois, it's more cinematic. You got the shadows, you got like not even the CGI is like, the CGI is good. Okay, let me rephrase it. It's great. But just the way that they're filming with the way that they use the lighting, that right there sets everything apart. Because and lighting is very important, because I can use just talking about stream cams. Like if I use a $60 stream cam with good lighting, I can make it look like a $200, $300 stream cam. As long as you do lighting and you do some settings, everything looks fantastic. You can make a cheap stream cam look cinematic with lighting. And I think that's where CW kind of lacks. But going back to Secret Invasion and Loki looks like we're watching an Avengers movie.
Yeah, when I was rewatching it, that first scene where Loki's running away from Mobius,
Right.
That was actually pretty cool, like in slow-mo and whatnot.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I was like, the angles are actually pretty cool in this specific scene.
Secret Invasion is like they use a 4K 10 refresh rate, like frames per second.
Yeah, that battle scene.
And Loki did a 240. It's just, to me, Secret Invasion is the worst show we've ever got.
It's okay. We can leave it in the past.
Yeah. I'm just butthurt about it.
You wanted more, but yeah, that's all they gave you.
Because it was so hyped up.
Yeah.
And Loki, we were all excited about it, but it wasn't like a big hype for it. All of a sudden they said Loki season 2.
Yeah, it's just we gotten so many things going on now with it, like Star Wars and now Marvel.
I mean, the thing
Marvels
is, though,
are coming up too, so it kind of got hidden in between those two.
There wasn't really a whole lot of hype going into Loki, which actually worked, in my opinion, worked to its benefit, because we were pleasantly surprised at how it's turned out so far. And the reason there were low expectations going into it is because we've been used to disappointment recently with a lot of the stuff that Marvel's put out thus far. And so it's like you're low going into it. You know, you're riding off of this depressing disappointment of Secret Invasion, and then all of a sudden you get hit with this amazing episode, this amazing first episode of Loki, and then it's just like, wow, like, this was entirely unexpected, and I am loving this so far.
Here's what I think that is happening. The good shows that Marvel has released are the shows that were setting something up. Like the story wasn't like too much, or it wasn't like cramped in to 8 episodes. We're introducing something you're going to see in the future.
Yeah. And also one thing that we haven't mentioned too, and it's not in the movies or whatever, is the leadership in Disney has changed too. So
Mhm.
they are focusing more on the quality now
Right.
than the quantity, because they were actually just pumping out stuff regardless of the quality. And they
Well,
at least finally got the message.
right. I saw a video that explained why we were getting so much for so little. And it's because all these studios, they have investors. And
They
the
want to see the money
investors,
back,
right, they want to see the money back fast.
especially after the
pull the money.
pandemic.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to pull the money. So I need you to pump these shows out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they were, the editing was not great. They weren't putting their time and effort. And because they didn't have that leader with a backbone saying, you want your money back, but I can make you more money if you hold on a couple more months. And that was the problem before. We didn't have someone saying, no, you're gonna hold off, or you're gonna drop your investment. Fantastic, I'll find someone else.
Right.
I think it was
His style of
mainly
making money.
Disney investors wanting things done a certain way and wanting it done within certain, sometimes unattainable time frames. And it's just basically you're forcing the studios to put out garbage, and it doesn't work. And then you're not seeing a return on your investment. So it's like, in your view, it's not money well spent. So it's like, okay, well, fine. Then I'm gonna, you're not making me what I think I'm gonna make. Okay, fine. I'm calling in that, I'm calling in that loan I gave you or whatever and all this stuff. And it's just like, it's putting Disney in a really shitty position. And usually, and like you said, because guys like Chapek are spineless fucking chicken shits that don't know how to say, hold your fucking horses and let us do what we need to do and give you the best product that we can. And, hopefully see not just a return on your investment, but well above that.
Right. And I think that they were more focused on getting more like smaller investors that want a quick investment, or like a good a fast profit, than a big investor that knows, okay, if you hold off longer, I'm gonna get more.
Well, see, that's a small part of it, I think, because they have a lot, like Disney themselves have a lot of large investors that want things done a certain way, like no
Right.
matter what. And these bigger investors, they don't really give it, like certain ones, they don't give a shit if they lose. They don't give a shit if they lose money because they have money to fucking spare. And so it's like, we want things done a certain way. To hell with everyone else. We don't care if we lose money. This is what we want.
Right.
And you're going to give us what we want, or you're not going to get what you need. And it's
Right.
put Disney in a position where they're just putting out things that are pissing fans, longtime fans, off. And they're just, at this point, turning away.
Right.
And it's sad to say. It's sad to say, but people are turning away from both Marvel and Star Wars at this stage, and a lot of them just aren't coming back.
Right. So let's see what happens from now on. I going into episode 2 of Loki,
Mm.
you can cut the tension with a knife between Loki and Sylvie.
Yep.
Like that tension is insane. But she's so mad at him for leaving her at the end of season 1. But she's the
But
one that
That's what I'm saying.
She pushed him.
She was blaming him, but she kicked him through that fucking door so she could kill He Who Remains.
right. And I think it's because he kind of backed out. It's like, I don't want to do this. We shouldn't do this, and she wasn't changing her mind. And that's where everything went south. And she didn't want to help. She's like, I'm not helping you. I don't care what happens. I'm happy here. She's working for McDonald's in the 80s. And she's happy.
Have you guys seen that theory that blonde guy is Mobius? The teenager working with her at McDonald's?
Her boss?
Right. Yeah.
Because I think that's her manager.
Yeah, but he's a younger kid.
I was gonna say, yeah,
because
he
he
was
said
a-
my
yeah,
mom's
he
gonna
was a
pick me up
kid.
or something.
That's a good theory.
But it doesn't make sense to me because she's not close to Mobius.
Well, maybe she doesn't know it's Mobius, because I don't
True
think
enough.
Mobius is a real name.
Right. He doesn't know his name.
Right. But he does know he likes jet skis, though.
Right.
So if this, well, we would never know, because that universe, no, it didn't get erased, because she goes back.
Yeah.
And that's when they talk about him getting picked up. So
Right.
they might drop I'm gonna go get, I've been saving so much money to go get myself a jet ski.
Hmm.
And that is, I can see that
Who
happening.
knows? Sorry, I don't want to bring it
No,
up because I have McDonald's.
Honestly, that's a good one to bring up, because if that winds up being something that they delve into with with this kid, that honestly, I'd like to see something like that happen, because it gets people talking,
Right.
Right.
and that's what you want.
Like, is it important to the storyline? Probably not.
No.
But at the same time, it'd be cool to see where it came from. Like, see we don't even need a backstory. Oh,
You can tell he's in love. He likes Sylvie.
he does.
That's the one thing you do see there.
Yeah, there's a little crush.
Mm-hmm.
So we see.
Oh, we haven't talked about Obi.
Right. Which I think he's stealing the show.
Yeah, I would say like he is.
Could be.
Well,
a
we
big
didn't
one.
talk about the whole thing of in the first episode where Loki gets pulled between the future, the past, and when they're talking to Obi, they're talking to him at the same time, but in different times.
Yep.
And
he's like, I didn't know about this. Wait.
Yep.
I do remember now.
Yep.
But what I find funny is that the name Obi, he thinks that Mobius is the one that gave it to him, and that they're really good friends. But Mobius is like, I've never been down here. But it's because Loki has talked about Mobius, and he gave him the by mistake, he gave him the nickname of Obi.
Oh yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Because he learned it in the future,
right?
And they told him
gave it to him in the past.
It was so confused to him.
Oh yeah.
And
plus Mobius had only And Obi himself had said that Mobius had only ever been down there once before.
Right.
And it's like nobody could remember because I think it was, I mean, what was it, like decades or like centuries ago?
Right.
The last time he was down there.
400 years.
Right.
That's crazy. If you recognize Obi, he was in the Goonies. And he was also in
A recent show.
yeah.
What was it? I was trying to think of it the other day.
I can't remember, but he was it's funny because he's so into tech and to fix things in the Goonies that it's like it's the same character.
Pretty much. Well, he was also in, wasn't it Raiders of the Lost Ark that he was in? Or
Yeah.
at least one of the Indiana Jones movies?
Yep.
He recently won an award too for something else. So everything is happening for him.
Mm-hmm. He's stealing the show. He is the show. And
well, it's called Loki, but okay.
Well, eventually it's going to be Obi.
Obi.
Maybe we'll get like a 2 or 3 episode spin-off series of him.
Yeah, and not to be confused with Obi. One Kenobi.
Can you imagine we'll just get like a whole episode of him working, like
just him working
down there?
Yeah,
that's what I was. That's what I was saying. It's like just like a 2 or 3 episode, like a comedic spin-off of him like his origins and designing all this stuff at the TVA.
Right.
Yeah, him just walking around, and that would be cool.
Yeah,
it'd be funny.
We see the what's his name, the Asian dude that Loki runs into in the beginning of the episode.
I forgot his name, but he learns, he knows the manual or whatever, the TBA thing. He's such a fan of Obi without knowing. Once he learned that he's the one that wrote it, he's like, oh, can you sign this?
He fangirled. The first time we see him in the season, he's listening to a podcast. This is an Easter egg. This podcast that he's listening to is the same podcast that we see in Moon Knight. That Spectre is listening to in his house. He's trying to like just decompress, and he's listening to a podcast on his headphones, and it's the same podcast.
Yeah, I have to rewatch it.
I saw it on I think it was New Rockstar. They were breaking it down, and that's the first thing they mentioned. Like, that's so cool.
Nice.
So anything else that you guys remember of the first 2 episodes?
Not offhand, beyond the beyond the whole time slipping thing that was a big part of the first episode, and
that
I guess
CGI
because of
was
the
on point.
Oh,
yes.
Dude, because of the fucking production quality on the show so far, the time slipping and the effect and like the way it was just basically, it seemed like it was ripping him apart.
Yeah,
it almost looked like a thriller, borderline horror film. Oh,
it looked like Venom.
Crazy. That too, I think. It's crazy.
Well, the first time that Mobius is talking to Loki when it's happening, Loki's like, "Does it look that bad?" He's like, "No, it doesn't. Does it hurt?" It's like, "No." And then the second time it happens, he's like, "This hurts.
It looks horrible.
It looks horrible."
Yeah.
And then the girl in the elevator, she is speechless.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think it looks like?
Oh yeah. I think it was around that time when they wound up in Ouroboros's little section of the TVA, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and then he realizes what it is. He's like, "That's time slipping." And it's like, "That's what that is." And it's like, but that shouldn't be possible inside the TVA. It's like, but it is happening inside the TVA. I know, but that should be impossible. And it's like
And
that
they
back
stay
and forth.
locked in there.
Yep. Yep. And then the same conversation goes on when he gets ripped back to the past, and it's just like, this is happening. Oh, this shouldn't happen. And then that back and forth where you see like him having those realizations, like, wait, this is and then he remembers all the stuff that Loki told
Yeah.
him in the
It-
past. That's great.
It's funny because they don't want to cave and tell us where the TVA is. They don't want to tell us that they're in the quantum realm.
Not yet. Hey, weird thing. Just a random thought I had. He who remains reminds me or gives me vibes of he who must not be named. Just it's just a stupid thing.
Well, they didn't want to talk about him.
Right.
And that whole scene in the first episode when he's time slipping and he goes in the past and he sees the he who remains like faces,
Right.
and but then he goes into the present and he's like, this is weird, and he grabs that glowy stick, that
And breaks.
lightsaber, and hits the wall, and it all comes down. It's like everything was built on top of it.
Right. Which basically tells you that somebody was trying to hide something, and
Right.
nobody that was in the room at the time even knew about it.
Yeah, it's that general lady. So that's where we're left off last week. Is like they basically just destroy every single branch that came off from when he died.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll have to stay awake and watch
Not
the one
all
today.
of them. Not all of them, because the one that Sylvie went back to is still there.
Right.
So
Right,
they
but they're
weren't
like-
able to fully complete, but they did get they
Yeah.
did get a lot of them.
Right.
I think they got like 97% of them. I think that's
Right.
They actually say it in the episode.
Yeah. That's
And they were
stupid.
all they were. It gave me vibes when we see in movies like a terrorist attack and everyone's like staring at the TV.
Oh yeah.
That's what that gave me vibes of. Like that
That's true.
scene when they're all watching all these branches being destroyed.
Oh yeah,
And at the end of the day, that's what it was.
Basically, yeah.
pretty much. And then you see at the end of they're staring at all of these at these branches just
Disappearing.
and all these people are being just reduced to nothing. And then Sylvie at the end of it just loses her shit and goes back through the portal to the branch that she had gotten to originally.
Right. I want to close this off with a theory about Secret Wars.
Do it.
They are setting up Secret Wars to restart the MCU.
I know exactly what you're talking about, because there's stories going all over the place that are talking
Right.
about.
And there's a scene in Loki that was leaked from a later episode. I don't know if it's episode 3 because I haven't watched it yet. But when this leak happened was 2 weeks ago when the first episode came out. It was a scene of an universe, and we hear a dialogue from Endgame, and then it pans out to a different universe, and they look like eclipse in space. So they're looking at one universe, and then they pan out to the other one, and we hear a quote from one of the newer movies, which makes you think that the newer movies are happening in a different timeline than anything prior to Endgame. So we are watching a different universe right now. So that's that. that right there. But at the same time, I hope it happens, this leak, because before Ahsoka came out, there was a leak of a picture of the set, and they had Ahsoka fighting Darth Maul.
Right, and they're
that
just
never
throwing
happened.
us off.
Right.
Maybe season 2.
It's certainly possible.
So that was it.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking, because there's been some stories and theories going around that they're going to be setting up Secret Wars as essentially a soft reboot to the
Right.
MCU, which basically means that a lot of the old characters are going to get recast, and we're gonna it's the whole thing's gonna start over. And I'm wondering if that winds up being the case, what direction they're going to go in from there.
Are we going to see Deadpool and Loki?
It's your wish. I think everybody's
like
but
a cameo in the last episode or something. To
him a variant of him with the neck thing.
Well, what we can see is a scene that sets up the events of the Deadpool movie, because he's jumping through universes
Mhm.
and timelines. So, which connects to the TVA, which it was confirmed that Owen Wilson is going to be in Deadpool playing Mobius.
Yep.
Yeah, so like it will be probably something that will happen before all this in Loki.
You think so?
Because right now they don't care about variants. They stopped that. So unless they go back to it and the season ends with he who remains back, and then just having one timeline, then that it is possible that it will be in the future. But if not, then it will be just maybe something in the past.
Well, I can see it more as they don't care that they stay in their universes and they do something that changes the future, but they might care that someone is jumping through timelines doing things.
We'll see.
That's where it can deviate or
Right.
deviate.
Yeah, but when you got somebody like Deadpool, though, he's a slippery motherfucker.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that they're gonna capture him in this movie or in this show, but they might show him like show up and be like, oh shit, and then leave.
I think if he does appear in the series, it's probably going to be in the last episode, either towards the end or in like a post-credit scene.
Right. I can see that.
At this point, it's anybody's guess.
Right. And since this movie is coming out as like a timeline skipping or jumping through, they lost the opportunity of having Deadpool and post-credit scenes in all these movies, like jumping through, being in those events. It's like, oh, that's not where I want to be. And
That'll be cool. Like
Right.
him
seeing
in Endgame,
every
all that
single
stuff.
every single movie that's happened after Deadpool was acquired, and just have him like in the Marvels, he shows up, he's like, oh crap, and then leaves. He doesn't have to be there for like a minute, literally 2 seconds. Oh, this is not where I need to be. And just every single one leading up to that, to the Deadpool movie.
Right.
He should have been the new
Stan Lee cameo.
Stan Lee cameo.
That's exactly what I was about to say, and you were leading right into it. And I'm like, fuck, great minds.
Yeah. So, anything else, guys?
There was an Easter egg on this episode too. It was King Joe from Eternals. Like there was a movie poster
Yeah.
of his face as a movie actor. You know how he was a movie actor in whatever years.
Every generation, he was the same guy, but different names.
Right. So, yeah.
My grandfather, my father, and I were all actors. So if you guys don't have anything else,
Great
Okay.
series so far, even
Yep.
though we're only 2 episodes in. Can't wait.
yep. And I can't wait to go back to our recording time next week. We are going to try to do Tuesdays at 9 if possible. So if you want to watch us live, make sure you tune in. And to stay up to date, make sure you go on our Discord. That way you know if we are recording or not on Tuesday, which we should. Don't forget to
Click all the things.
yes, don't forget to do that. All of our social media is down below in the episode's description. Don't forget to go on our website, thenerdarchive.com. You can see all of our episodes. If you have a podcasting platform that you love, you can find us there. But if this is the first time watching us, you can go on our website and you can literally watch all of our episodes from our website. Also, our merch is on there. If you are a nerd, you're going to love our merch. Trust me. So, with that being said, I didn't say in the beginning, this is Yachty, Justin, Lewis, and on behalf of Lola, see you next week. Deuces.
Bye-bye. Yum, 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 yum.